Hey everybody. So I want to take a little bit of time in this video to show you how to find your way around the content for the course. So if you're watching this video, that means that you made it to our course homepage. Hopefully you looked at the welcome announcement, watched that video, and then you clicked on content up above, and that brought you into the content for the course. The first tab that you saw on the left hand side of the screen was the Getting Started tab, and that's where we are right now. So when you click on Getting Started, you'll see that, you saw that there were several sub-tabs underneath. The first one was Meet Your Instructor. If you haven't looked at that yet, you might want to, because it has my contact information, my email address, and my cell phone number. The next sub-tab is the course overview. It's just a little paragraph explaining what this course is all about. And then this video, How to Find Your Way Around. The next sub-tab under this one is attendance and weekly deadlines. You'll definitely want to take a look at that sub-tab. If this is your first online class, you'll definitely want to take a look at the video where I explain how attendance and deadlines work. But regardless if you watch the video or not, there is a chart included under the video that has the dates for each week of the course, and that might come in handy. Underneath that sub-tab is a PDF of the course syllabus that you can view. Underneath that are the instructions for how to access the textbook. And then the last sub-tab under Getting Started is some instructions for how to use Google Docs. For anyone who doesn't have access to Microsoft Word, whether you need it for this class or maybe another class, there are instructions there that show you how to set up a Gmail account and use Google Docs instead of Microsoft Word. So that's everything in the Getting Started section, where we are right now with this video. But I actually want to focus more on all the other tabs that come after Getting Started. And those would be the weekly modules. So you'll see week 1 module, week 2 module, all the way down to the end of the course. So that is where the material is for each week. The material that you need to learn, the assignments that you need to complete, everything is contained in those modules. So I want to go through the first week for sure and a little bit of the second week, just so you have a better idea of how I've laid it all out for you. Okay? So the first thing that I want to kind of mention though is keep in mind that this is a 40-hour class spread out over 10 weeks. That's 4 hours per week. Normally, if this were a class that you took on campus, those 4 hours would be spent in the classroom 1 day a week. Pretty easy to accomplish that. This class also anticipates that you will have 20 hours of outside work each, for the spread out over 10 weeks, so that's 2 hours per week. So 4 hours plus 2 hours, 6 hours total each week. Again, if you were taking this class on campus, those first 4 hours would be a no-brainer. You wouldn't even think about the fact that you're putting in 40 hours over the term, because you're used to just going to class each week and you'll be there for 4 hours. You go, you learn, you do activities, whatever the case may be, and then you leave. And you also know that there will probably be a certain amount of homework assigned each week. And you might not like it, but you don't really think much about it because you know that's how it works. You go to class, you learn, and then you have homework assignments that you bring back the following week. However, this is an online class. And because of that, you are responsible for figuring out when you're going to accomplish that 6 hours of work each week, because it's still a 40-hour class with 20 hours of outside work, even though it's online now. So it's going to seem like a lot of work because you are having to figure out when you're going to accomplish all 6 of those hours. But if you can at least kind of keep it in your head that roughly 4 hours of that work each week is what you would do in the classroom, it can kind of help you, maybe not feel like it's so much more work. If you can remember that, okay, yes, it's a lot of work that I'm having to do on my own here at home, but 4 of these hours I would normally be in the classroom for. And that can kind of ease some of the anxiety a little bit. It also helps you see how each module is constructed. So when you click on a module tab, for instance, if you click on week 1 module, you'll see that there are several subtabs under week 1 module. The last subtab in the week 1 module, and it will be the last subtab in every module, are the homework assignments for that week. Week 1 homework assignments. So, you know that those are the graded items that you have to complete that week. Everything above the homework assignment subtab is the material that you need to learn that week. You can kind of see it as that's the material. Those are the lessons that we would cover if we were in the classroom together. And then you have those homework assignments that you would be assigned and you'd bring back the following week. A couple of the assignments that get put under the homework assignments subtab, they may be items that normally we would do in class together. But for the sake of keeping everything grouped in one spot, I put everything there under the homework assignments tab. But there are some items that normally would come before you would get your homework. We would do them in class together. But again, I don't want anybody to miss anything, and I want everything that is, a graded item, I put it all there in the same spot in that homework assignments subtab. So, for week 1, when you click on that tab, the first thing you're going to see on the right-hand side of the screen is it says instructions for week 1. Then there's a brief little paragraph and then an outline of everything that is included in the week 1 module. So, for instance, item number 1 on the outline is syllabus review. And it tells you, read over the course syllabus. It tells you where the PDF is located. It tells you that there's a link to a Word document also, and then it tells you to watch the course syllabus video. The second item on the outline is the course project overview. It lets you know that there's a handout and a video. The third item on the outline is rhetorical situation. It lets you know that there's a PowerPoint and a video for that lesson. And if you notice, the order of all the items on that outline match up exactly to the subtabs under week 1 module. So the first subtab is syllabus review. The second one is course project overview, and then rhetorical situation, so on and so forth. Everything matches up. That outline can also be found in the weekly announcement on the course homepage. So you have several ways of finding out what you're supposed to go over each week and then what the homework assignments are for that week. Okay? And it pretty much works the same way every week. So if you click on week 2 module, you'll see the instructions for week 2 there on the right hand side, and all the items on that outline match up with all of the subtabs under the week 2 module. Review of week 1, introductions, paragraph development, conclusions, and then the week 2 homework assignments. So it's the same format every week. You know that as soon as you click on the weekly module tab, you're going to see the outline over there on the right hand side. You know it's going to match up with all the subtabs in that weekly module. And all of those subtabs contain handouts, PowerPoints, and video lessons. That's the material you need to learn that week. And then the last subtab in every module are the graded homework assignments. I really suggest making sure that you set aside time to go over the material in those subtabs and not just jump straight to the assignments and try to get them completed and submitted. Because you're not necessarily going to know how to complete the assignments correctly if you don't go through the material first. It would be just like if you missed a week of class on campus and then tried to do the homework without going over any of the material that you missed. You need to learn. You need to learn the material first before you try to attempt any of the homework assignments. The only exception to that would be the discussion for each week. There's nothing in the module material for any given week that you need to go over before completing the discussion. So you can do that at any point. You don't have to go through the material first. But for most of the other assignments throughout the term, you're going to want to at least go through each sub-tab and see what it's all about. I would at least look over any handouts or PowerPoints that are provided in a lesson. The video lesson that I provide for each lesson is super helpful. It's basically what I would be saying, you know, if we were in the classroom. But at the very least, go over the PowerPoints. If you don't have time to sit and watch the whole video, you can break it up into segments. You don't have to watch the whole thing all at once. Some of them, depending on the lesson, can be anywhere from 20 to 30 minutes long. Others are much shorter. You know, so feel free to take breaks. Feel free to start playing the video on your phone or on your laptop and do something else while you're listening to me. But hearing me explain the information from the handouts and PowerPoints can be super helpful. But however you choose to do it, don't skip it entirely. Don't skip the module material and just go straight to the homework assignments. That's not going to benefit you in the long run. But that is how each week is laid out. You know, you click on the module tab, you see the outline, it matches up with the subtabs. The subtabs are all of the lessons that you need to learn that week, and the final subtab in each module are the homework assignments. Now, right now, if you were to click on week 1 homework assignments, you'll see a little message over on the right hand side, a little bulleted list of reminders for how to go through the homework assignments. But the only thing that you're going to have access to right now is the week 1 attendance quiz. All the other assignments for week 1, you cannot access them until you've completed the week 1 attendance quiz. Now, that attendance quiz is super easy. It is a single true-false question, and it doesn't even count towards your grade. We implemented these so that there was one item each week that all students had to complete in order to even access the other assignments, to even see what the other assignments are. And it would be one location for instructors to go to efficiently track attendance each week. That's all it's for. It has nothing to do with the course content, has nothing to do with anything we're learning. The question is the same each week. It will say, this is the week 1 attendance quiz, true or false. Or this is the week 2 attendance quiz, true or false. That's it. You just mark your answer, submit it. Once you submit it, then you'll have access to all of the other homework assignments listed underneath it. Okay? It's a little bit of an extra step for you, but it doesn't penalize you in any way. It doesn't mess with your grade in any way. It is just a step you have to take in order to access that week's homework assignments. Once you do it, then it's up to you when you go through and complete each assignment that's listed. Okay? But that is how the course is laid out for you. If you can keep in mind that all of the subtabs in each weekly module are basically like the lessons that we would cover in class together. And then the final sub-tab are the homework assignments for that week. It can kind of help you understand the balance of the work. Oh, this is what I would be doing if I were taking the class on campus. This is what we would be doing in the classroom. These are the homework assignments that I would be sent home with and to have to work on for the following week. It can help you understand the workload for each week. It can also benefit you by letting you know the order that you should go through each lesson so that everything makes sense. And then you'll be able to complete the homework assignments more successfully. Okay? But that is pretty much how it's laid out. If you aren't quite sure how to take a quiz, how to do an assignment, or how to post to a discussion, there should be a course that's listed with all your other online classes called Learner Training Course. It provides very, very brief tutorial videos showing you how to do those things. But I'm also here anytime. If you can't quite figure it out or if something's giving you problems, feel free to reach out to me. Okay? That's pretty much how the course is laid out. It follows the same pattern each week. Once you get through the first week or two, it's going to be smooth sailing. It's going to be, same thing every week. The material changes, the assignments change, but the format is exactly the same. Okay? If you have any questions or concerns, please let me know. Otherwise, you are free to move on to the next item.